My primary medium would at this point probably be acrylic, although I've done a lot of watercolor and a lot of oil. Really only 4.5 years full-time, and I started doing that when I retired from the University of Idaho. I was a professor in education, and I'd done that my whole life. I retired a little earlier than I thought that I would because I had a thyroid cancer, and so illness forced me to make, to decide I had to do something else. And what a great opportunity to really open another chapter of my life. So it was the closing of one chapter and the starting of another. I would say at first I was just doing what I was seeing around me, but now that I've been doing more of the plein air painting, getting outside, going to locations and then being inspired by that, I really love that getting outdoors. The plein air painting is my passion at this point. And I think you can do it, you don't just have to do realistic landscapes, you can interpret and do more abstract and bring more feeling to it than sitting in the studio or, thinking it up. I like imagination too, but there's something about being out in nature and then plus bringing the imagination. For a while there, we were just going everywhere, willy-nilly, and had very many trips out to remote places without any thought, that was pre-pandemic. The pandemic came along, and then some people stopped going, other people started wearing masks, and people certainly stopped hugging and keeping their distance, but you were out of doors, so really there was some safety precautions as well, but people kept painting. And through this past spring, through the pandemic, I was painting nearly every week at the Edwards greenhouse, some of the time outside and then some of the time in the greenhouse as well, wearing a mask and keeping a distance, keeping away from customers, not hindering business, but people were actually very interested. They'd come and watch you, take photos of you. And so it was all around it was a way of having social contact and a joyful activity without causing any issues or problems. It's just a joy. If people I think everybody knows how fun art is. Art is just fun. It's really enjoyable. It's a creative process, and really everyone would do it, I think, except that it's really a very expensive pastime. Even if you sell all your paintings and win all the awards, I still don't know that it would pay for during your lifetime. Think about people who, during their life, most living artists really don't make a very good living. Maybe after they're gone, then somebody does make money from their art. But it's a very enjoyable process. To be creative is to be human. You're expressing yourself, and you look at something, it's in a way, it's just the most ideal of all opportunities that you can create something and look at it, and you don't have to keep it. You can gesso it over, or it's just a piece of paper, throw it away. But you've created something, and it's the process of creating that really brings joy. The other way we create is through whatever work we're doing. Everybody is an artist in how they plant a garden, or how they cook a meal, or how they decorate their home, or even how they take a walk. But to be a visual artist is just a different way of doing that. Definitely not. As you can see, I'm not a young person. I'm an emerita professor. I'm retired. And that was a wonderful chapter of my life. But I see this next chapter, I don't want to be egotistical or anything, but I do see myself, depending on how long I'm given on this earth, I see myself continuing to create art and sharing it and bringing joy to people and having something to say, and I'll do it as long as I'm able.